Welcome to the color match trading system that I developed. It's very accurate and it's very, very good for scalping. And it's very easy to use. So just pay attention here and I'll show you how to use our system. This is the NQ, and I like to use the 1 minute chart. And what we're trying to do here is you see here circles and diamonds. These are order flow indicators or in order flow. So it's very accurate as far as the trend change of the market. And the thing is, you want to match these trend changes up with our oscillator here. Now, the bottom oscillator, I'm just going to turn off for a minute. The middle oscillator is the one you mostly want to pay attention to, and I'll tell you why in a moment. So what you do is, and this is good for any time frame, any instrument, but let's take a look at the New York open time frame. This is mostly when I trade. I'm in California. The New York session is the most active. So the circles and diamonds, which are order flow, they don't repaint. They're very accurate. And what you want to do is have the match with the colors below. When you get a match, you got a very strong indication of a trade. Let's see, where are we here? 526, 527. Let's see if we go forward here into today's New York session. Okay, so here's how it works. This is the open here, 6:30 in California time, and an order flow circle appeared at 6:47. If you look below, the oscillator is green, so you want to go long, right? This is a change of direction, and you want to go long. There's a match. Green, change of direction, long. So you take this signal here. Sometimes you may have to wait for this bar to close. It depends, because you want to make sure that this circle stays fixed right here. So this is a safe bet, very safe bet. If you don't see any other movement, that means the circle was good, and you take this trade and you exit at the close of the green bar inside the color trend oscillator. This indicates the end of the move right here. Now, you could have taken, obviously, some, if you wanted to take some off up here, you could have, but this is the exit, the absolute exit over here. Even though it went higher, this is a safe exit right here. Okay, and if you look through the system, you'll see plenty of opportunities. You don't have to worry that you didn't get the entire trade, didn't manifest completely. It's okay. You know, there's plenty of other trades. Here's a trade here, circle above, which indicates that the market is about ready to turn down, confirmed by this brown or red color background in the color trend 2 oscillator. Right here, take the trade and exit down here. Right there. Can exit right about here. Not a huge move, but a safe move. And that's the important thing. This gives you a very accurate entry and a very accurate exit. And some of the moves can be quite large. Here you have a market came down and confirmed a change of direction long. Let's say we confirm right here on the end, close of this bar. It closed above this bar. This red dot didn't move. So we have a lot of confirmation that this bar is a good entry bar. So we take it. The oscillator says, yes, take it. Red dot. Easy, very easy system. We take this trade. We don't experience much of a drawdown, but we have a really nice move up to here. And in fact, 929 probably exited 960 something. So nice 30. There's actually more than that, but 30 some odd point move. We didn't get a trade here because there was no confirmation that we don't take it. Right here, just about confirmation. If we waited for this bar here, we would say, okay, let's take it. Moved all the way. Finally, again, this is even a better trade because you can see this was one off here, but this was clearly on our green background color here. And this is the ideal trade. So we take this trade here and we exit right here. So the nice thing about this system is it has very precise entries and exits. There's no guesswork. You can really just wait for this circle to appear inside of a green background in the oscillator if you're going long, and if you're going short, the background should be red. Really simple. The reason we didn't show this here is this is a multi-time frame background of the same oscillator on top, and so using on the bottom was showing on 1 hour. So all that's doing is telling us what the predominant trend direction is, but you can go either way on the upper oscillator color trend 2 here. You can use it for going long and short because there's trend and counter trend moves all the time in the market. But sometimes you might want to know what the predominating trend is of the market. And the predominating trend can change. So on an hourly basis, you'll see sometimes green, sometimes red, like that. It just gives you a feeling for the market. You can trade this any hours of the day that you want. This is in the, I think 2 o'clock in the morning. I think this is the Asia session. So you've got a nice pullback into the green oscillator background color of the oscillator. Just take it up to here for a small gain. This one here did not make it inside of actually we don't want red, we would have wanted green. Okay, this one here, this diamond was a trade to here. We would have gotten out over here. And because sometimes if you don't see an exit, then your absolute exit would be an opposing signal. Usually don't have that during the New York session. If you have it during the other Globex session, it's probably because of the market not being that liquid. Here's a sell during the Asia session, and you would have gotten out down here. That to me looks like it might have been a break even, a slight loss. So here's a diamond appearing in the green background area and slight gain. Here is a long opposition here. We get out. So the overnight session, here's a long, and we made a nice gain. It's very accurate. Here's a long, and we get out here because of the brown. So diamond inside the green background color of the color trend 2. Wait for the market up here. Keep going until it finally exits the end of the background color, the end of the background color. No trade here because it didn't fall inside of a green or red background color. And so this would be here, the New York session. See if we can find a trade in here. So if you don't see a trade, don't push it. It's because the market is telling you it's choppy. It's just choppy. So that's another good thing about the trading system. It may be choppy here to here, very choppy. So don't push it. You're going to be saving yourself a lot of money by not trading against the system. There are plenty of trades to make with this trading system. And one of the ways that you make money in the market is you stay away from bad trades. You stay away from bad trades. Here is the open. I don't know why there's no background change for some reason. There should be. Anyhow, this is 6:30, the open. We didn't see a trade here, but we got a circle. We got a diamond here. So we can take it long. We exited here. And this actually was a losing trade. Not actually, it wasn't. It came all the way down here, some kind of a huge move down. And so this actually benefited our trade. And then we exited right there. This was a good trade. This is a diamond happening in a red oscillator background color. We went short and we exited down here. And now it's getting into the Globex session. Here's a long, exited up here. You can see it's so hard in trading to find systems that can stay accurate through all trading situations. And I think that's why you're going to like this trading system so much, because you don't have to think all the time about it. Just wait. Wait for the system to give you a signal. Here's a nice 1020 during the New York session. See, again, this would be a counter trend trade because on the higher platform it's red, but we don't care. So we'll just take this as a counter trend trade and a nice counter trend trade. So we got in right here and we exited right here. That would have been the final exit. Now you can obviously exit earlier. 29,678, it went as high as 29,747. That's almost a 100-point move. We would have exited 29,702. So an absolute 22 points on this move. But, you know, here's the start of the overbought area. So, you know, you're welcome to get out at any point during this period. Here is a nice move down at 11:45 New York time, California time. The New York market is still open. First, you had this move here. It landed perfectly in the green area back here. I'm not sure you can see that. This is green. So yeah, this is a confirmed trade. If you wanted to wait for this bar, that's fine. And then you would have exited either here on this dot, which would have given you some nice gain. Now we have a short. So we would have taken the short, 29,669 all the way down to here, 29,608, so it's almost 60 points. So this is a very good scalping system for short-term and larger gains as well. There's never any speculation or any decision-making on your part other than do I get into the trade or not? Those are the only thoughts that you have to have. So we've made it really simple because trading is hard. Here's some more trades in the early morning. I think we went over this one here. Nice gain. There's a nice long right before the market open. Boom, all the way up to here. And you'll see it's very accurate. And nothing repaints on our bars, so you can trust them. Look at these nice trades down here, here. You can see the matching. This one here would have been, you would have given you a little bit of a little bit of concern because it came down, but then it ended up coming over here. So you would have made maybe a couple of points or broken even. Here is a nice trade down to here. Here's a nice trade up to here. Here's a nice trade. So there's plenty of trades. You never have to worry. And Here's a trade up here, came down, got out over here. You can just see how accurate it is. Very accurate. Here's a trade here, got out up here, again a return, got out down here, a trade down here. You could have got out right here. Well, you can see it's making money almost on every trade. Here's a trade up here, exited down here. And if you don't make that much on a trade, that's not the fault of the system. It's the market not giving us very much. So we take what the market gives us and don't force a trade. This is the problem that most traders have. They're not patient. Let's see if we can identify some more trades. Sometimes you got to put this on replay so you can see. Sometimes it closes itself down, some of the circles. Here we go. So here we are in the New York session. So green background and the color trend 2 oscillator matching the green diamond here. And up we go. Okay, so easy trade. Nothing to think about. There's money. How much money was this trade? 29,213 all the way up here. You would have gotten out here, 286. That's 73 points. I mean, that's accurate, perfectly accurate. You don't need too many of these trades to make a living. Here's a trade coming down and exited here, right? Because we're in the brown area of the oscillator, the red area of the oscillator. There's a diamond. It comes down. There's still no exit. We might get a little bit worried coming up, but you learn to trust the system. It's very, very trustworthy. The market comes down and finally gets us out on the green bar down here, as well as a red dot. The red dot did not give us a new entrance, but we got exited down here. We made a nice profit. So you have to learn how the market operates. Okay, this system is going to be the standard in your trading. You work with the indicator and allow it to do what it's going to do. These are very, very strong signals, and when they're matched with our oscillator on the bottom, they're very, very accurate. You just have to learn to trust them and don't get panicky. Even though here market came back up, you shouldn't bail out. You can stay in the trade. Here's a trade here. During the New York session, market moves up very nicely. Again, we made money. No trade here, no trade here because it's not part of a background. So there's no oscillator to confirm the trade. We stay out. But then all of a sudden at 950, look at this trade. Boom, all the way up. This is an amazing trade. We stayed right here, perfect background color, diamond. We take the trade up. We stay in this overbought area because it hasn't come out of it yet. So all the way up it goes. These are amazing trades. And you didn't have to do anything other than make sure that the trade, when you take it, the green dot or diamond, whatever the upper indicator is telling you, is it inside a red or green background of our bottom oscillator? That's the only thing that you have to concern yourself with. This is pre-market. Turns out to be a nice trade. We got some money out of that. Here's another pre-market trade. Got some money out of that. Here's another pre-market trade. Got some money out of that. Here's another pre-market trade. These are all good trades. Show you another trade here. Boom. This is not a long because you want to be in the green background if you're going long. And this is a green diamond, but it's not in a green background. We don't take this trade, but we do take this trade. So you can start to really, really trust this system. Look at this beautiful trade here. Market bottomed out right here. We have a green background. Boom. Straight up. Now, sometimes you'll see that these green dots do move a little bit before they're finally stationary. And that's because even though they're order flow oriented, there is market dynamics. So you want to wait for this dot to stop moving and then make sure that you're in that green area before you take a trade. Here is a nice green dot. in a nice wide green area in the background. We can take the trade and we can safely get out over here. Red dot. This one here, this is again Globex. We would have had small loser. No, actually would have been break even. So trust the system. Green diamond, exit right here. Okay. Here's the background color. Here's the green diamond. We go long. Anywhere in this area here, we could have exited. Let's exit right here. 29,291. So we made some money. And this is during the Globex session when their liquidity is not high. Now we're back in the New York session, 1125. We see a green background here in the oscillator matching a red dot in the upper order flow system. We take this trade here and we will exit right there. Don't be concerned that we didn't get this piece of the action. That's just the way the market was. Don't be concerned. Maybe we only made 20, 25 points. It's okay. It's money. Okay. So trust the system. That's the thing. You're never going to find everything perfect in trading. You're never going to find it. You may even lose a little bit of money on a trade. You have to be a trader. You have to be different. You have to have some toughness within you. You have to have some willingness to take a trade. You can start off small. Here's a nice trade. There's a big fat circle up here telling us that the market's probably topped out. Might want to wait for this red bar to form to confirm. We're still inside of a red background in the oscillator. We take it short and the market chops around and finally gets us out over here. So this trade is an example, we got in at 29, we got in at 8:17 in the morning and we exited at 8:30, a 13-minute trade and 311. We didn't make much. Looks like we made only 15 to about 12, 15 points. Who cares? Okay, look at the market. This is all chop, chop, chop. We got out. Be happy. And all chopped around. You can't figure this out. No one can. Just take your gain and move on to the next trade. Trust the system. Here's an opening trade at 6:30. Let's take a shot at this one. The price is 29,141. A lot of liquidity in the early morning. And we exited. Now this would have been, we would have gotten in here at 130, about 134, absolute exit at 110. But you could see it really came down here. Once you're in the green bar area, it's starting to tell you you're in the oversold area. So you could start looking for an exit down here. Sometimes you can say to yourself, well, the market's going to capture on the left side here, the liquidity, come down to this point here and exit. Okay, that's something that you would have gained from experience in trading. The market came up, now it's going to recapture this liquidity. Exit down here, even on the left side, even to this area. Or if you want to wait for the bar to turn green, it's in the same vicinity. So this is what an advanced trader would do. He would exit down here, but if you're not that advanced, you can wait for the bar to close up here because there's no more green down here. Okay, so depending upon your level of understanding of the market, you could have captured much more. Okay, if you had stayed in here, 135, all the way down to, see, even to here, 75, that's about 60 points. Okay, so you have opportunities to learn to increase your use of our trading system. Just by understanding, it'll help you understand the market because these signals are very accurate within the market. They tell you really good areas to enter the market. So you can build your thinking around the trading system. Look at how it came down, and then the market is doing a reversal here based on order flow. Orders are coming in where they're capturing this liquidity telling us it's going to go up, and we fall within the oscillator. So we have double confirmation, take the trade, and look at this nice movement. So this is at 12 noon, California time. We entered here at 28,958. The market's going to try to get back up to 29, which it did, and it went beyond it all the way up to here. So look over here, you can see the market fell at this point and came right back. So this is what an advanced traders might target. So yeah, I want to go for this area here. They'd probably go for right below here, which would have been right here. That would have been the end of the trade because they know that the market is just going to recapture this liquidity. Okay, these are things that you learn when you've been trading for many years. Here is a trade up here. So what the market did, it came down, came back up, didn't make a new high, right? But it recaptured the liquidity down here, all this liquidity. So again, it's in the red background. You got a red diamond. We took the trade. Now you can obviously would have exited on this bar because you're looking at this liquidity here. And also the background color changes to green. It changes out of the green area on this bar. So that would be your absolute exit. So 29,088 to 29,045. That's a 43-point move. And that's later in the day. So many trade opportunities. Here's another one. Here's another one. Here's another one. Another one. Another one. So lots of opportunities. And then you don't have to worry. Here's a red background color. And here's a turn in the market, but we didn't get the signal. Don't worry about it. Another market change. Don't worry about it. Right here, don't worry about it. Don't get nervous. Here's 7:20. It's almost an hour into the market. You got your first trade. You got your second trade. This trade here would have produced probably nothing. Would have probably got stopped out. Probably would have gotten maybe a few points. Okay, no problem. Got a trade here. Exited on this signal here. No signal now. Boom. Got a trade here. Came all the way up. Starting to get some action. It's a nice trade. 28,760. Market came up. Closed us out at 28,837. That's almost 77 points. Wow. Okay. So be patient. There's another trade here inside of our oscillator. Green. Got out. Made a few points. Yeah. So this no trade here. Didn't get anything. And, some guys will get all antsy. Why didn't your system capture this? What? There's no answer. It's just the market. You can't say, well, if you have another system that you're trading that's good in capturing a longer trend, go ahead and use it. I can't guarantee, or maybe this trade would have worked out on a 5-minute chart. This is a 1-minute chart. You can go look because the circles and diamonds are different. If you want to have a 5-minute chart next to you using that, that's fine. Here is a nice counter trend trade. Counter trend. No, actually would have been a trend trade. From here, down, got to exit here. Counter trend trade, nice trade up here. So we're doing fine. We're making plenty of money. So this is our system. We give a 3-day trial. The kind of system that you can trade on any time frame. I recommend the 1 minute or the 5. And you just very simple. This is not Heikinashi. There's no repainting. Just wait or make sure that we have that the signal is inside of, because if it's not matching in here, it's a weak signal. You want to make sure it's really nicely inside there. Boom. You want to see that green or red at the same time. And then you can take a trade. This one here, this is choppy. It's look how choppy the market is. So we got a long here, got out. We would have if we lost a few dollars here, we would have made it back easily on this next trade. Here, no trade. Everything is dark. There's no color in the background. No trade. Here, no trade. Why? Because of the chop that the market is exhibiting. This is indecision of the market, keeping you as a trader out. You don't think about that, but the system will do that. You're just thinking about the trade because you're trying to make $1 on the next trade, but the market might not be ready for you to take a trade. You have to be in sync with the market. Right here, we were not really in a good position to take a trade. This just tells you how the market's operating on that day. No trade. So you can back test our system for 3 days. You can look at the trades. You can start to feel comfort level. Here's a nice trade down to here. Beautiful trade. Another nice trade here, up to here. Nice trade. No trade here. Choppy. Look at that. No trade. Trade here. Made a few dollars. No trade. Okay. So this is our system. And you're going to get this oscillator, which is all custom made. I made it custom code. And then you have this indicator on top, which is an order flow indicator.
Penny/1. WhatsApp audio.
I'm going to pause this. The reason I developed the system is because we as traders need systems that tell us exactly when to enter and when to exit, and they need to be profitable. You can't be thinking all the time like they do in chess about the next move. It's too much for a trader to do. There's too much action in the market, and we just need to find our little niche. And we don't need a lot because we can always increase the number of contracts that we're trading or the number of accounts that we're trading to, copy trading. We just need a really, really good, accurate system that finds good trades and keeps us out of bad trades. And that's what this system is designed to do. There's no thinking really other than did the dot or did the diamond or the circle appear during a background color of the oscillator. That's pretty easy. And once you're in the trade, you just write it. You don't got to think about it. That's another thing. You don't got to think about all this stuff up here. What color, where's it going, the candles, EMAs, SMAs, all this stuff. You don't got to think about any of that. Supply, demand. Just let it trade. Exit right here based on the oscillator. You can get out up here toward the end of the oscillator, a nice exit up here. You made yourself 312, 350. That's almost 40 points, and the next dot here, there was no trade, even though it went up because the market is crazy here. It just went right up again, and this is unnatural. We couldn't even catch that trade. Forget about it. This trade here, we made a little bit of money, okay? And then we made good money on this trade. Look at this. We caught this down move, came all the way down. And, as a trader, you're looking at minute to minute, and that's very difficult to do. So with our system, you're not in that predicament. You just allow the system to do its thing. And you will be so surprised on how well the market respects our indicators. Allow the market to trade to the positions that we recommend in our trading system. And you'll get much better at finding really good trades and staying in the trade and trusting the system. These are all good trades here. Okay, so Take a 3-day trial. The system is priced very fairly. It's very inexpensive, and I think you'll do really well. You can pass prop firm counts with it. You can trade on your own with it. You can trade any time frame. You can trade anything you want with it. All right, give me your feedback. I'm here to help, and good trading.